So, Agent Bryant, tell me about your dealings with Agent Bryant back when all this started.
The first time I ever spoke to Agent Bryant was in fall of 2018. Or, well, hold on. No, it may have been January of 2019, somewhere around that area. And the reason I spoke to him is that was right after all the shit went down with Joe. And I was, quote-unquote, friends with Jeff Lowe because of the fucking faggot Joe. But that's beside the point. But I was friends with Jeff. Jeff was telling me, hey, Tim, they have you on like 3 different indictments or whatever the fuck it's called. And I was like, really? I said, how the hell did they get that? So if you look on Joe's thing, I think there's 22 of them. 3 of them are me. It says TS Indiana. Now, here's how much power Jeff has with fucking Agent Bryant. Those were supposed to list my full name on there. But they decided, because Jeff asked Bryant to, change it just to where it said TS. To where it didn't just disclose my name. How the hell does Agent Bryant have that kind of fucking authority, number one? Then, when Jeff, the first time he told me, he said, hey, you need to call, and I've got all this in text, John.
Okay.
He fucking texted me, you need to contact Agent Bryant. Or they're gonna burn your ass. And I was like, there ain't no way they can burn my ass. They don't have shit on me. And he fucking made that remark a couple times. The second time, I don't know, a couple weeks later, he told me again, he said, you need to contact Agent Bryant. So I said, fuck it, I will. I don't have nothing to hide. So I contacted Bryant. And he started trying to tell me, well, Tim, we've got you on 2 different counts on you buying a lion and buying a tiger from Joe. And then there's another one that has to do with the health certificate on the tiger. And I laughed, and I said, oh, is that a fact? I said, so you're trying to build up this case to go to court? And he's like, yes, we are, blah, blah, blah. I said, please call me as a witness, motherfucker. And he's like, excuse me? I said, please call me as a witness. I said, you're putting my name down on that motherfucker? Call me in as a witness. Because I'm going to make you look like the stupid motherfucker that you are. Because I've got text messages between me and Joe proving both animals, the lion and the tiger, Joe was giving to me. What people don't understand is has Joe ever told you our relationship, and that don't mean sexual, just our relationship, how I was?
No.
See, in 2000, I guess it was 16, Joe posted, and I was buying a lot of hybrids and shit from Joe. Joe posted online, hey, anybody with a skid loader? We need some work done, blah, 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 blah. Well, they were getting ready to bring me another fucking hybrid cat that I was buying from Joe. So I called Joe, and I told him, I said, hey, motherfucker, I'm going to take care of your problems for you. Make sure they're bringing a truck that can haul a fucking trailer. And he's like, what for? I said, I'm sending you some shit. I sent Joe a skid loader, backhoe attachment, trailer, all kinds of shit out there for him to use. Free of charge. And he had that fucking equipment there for damn near 2 years before Jeff took over. And also, Joe contacted me at one time. His mom and dad was getting ready to lose everything, and he was needing help. I sent him $10,000. And I don't loan anybody shit. If I feel you need it, I give it to you.
Right.
I never loan family, friends money in any way, shape, or form. And Joe knew that. Now, Joe felt, I guess, compelled that he owed me, but Joe knows he never owed me a goddamn thing. So, when the white lion was born, Joe knew I wanted one, and he contacted me, hey, we had one, you hit the lottery. It's yours. Now, what does that fucking mean? That don't mean, hey, you get to buy the motherfuckers. Right. You hit the lottery. Joe gave me that fucking lion. So Agent Bryant, that's when they, immediately, as you see, they didn't involve me. They damn sure didn't want me in that fucking courtroom.
Right.
They damn sure didn't want John Rinke in that fucking courtroom.
Right.
Even though Rinke, I love Rinke to death, but he's just as corrupt as fucking any of them. A lot of people are overlooking the fact that if Joe's guilty of anything having to do with animals, then all of them should be sitting in that fucking jail room.
Right.
Rinke, Finley, Carole, Jeff Lowe, every fucking one of them. And see, I don't have no proof. I was telling somebody earlier today, when I was out there in Oklahoma, me and Jeff Lowe were good friends. And I can remember, and now I see how he did it, or why he did it. Him and Lauren brought me lunch. I was down there in Thackerville working, and they brought me lunch. And it was like 95 degrees outside. I'm on my equipment. So the only thing I'm wearing is a fucking pair of shorts and a pair of sandals. Jeff and Lauren always watched everybody that they were talking to see if they could tell if they were filming or recording anything. Always. They knew I wasn't able to record everything because I wasn't wearing anything really. You could see I wasn't wearing nothing. They both sit there. We were sitting on the porch of the little pissy-ass trailer that I was living in there, and they told me they were laughing about how they set Joe up to get him out of the fucking picture. And that's when I was sitting there like, what? I said, you all did it? He's like, yeah, we did it. Fuck that stupid fake motherfucker. And then he starts mimicking Joe, the way he,
I've seen him do it on TV.
Like yeah, and he sits there and, starts doing all that bullshit. And that's when I was like, thinking in my mind, I got to get out of this somehow.
Right.
Because I'm not going to be here. If he turned on Joe, he's going to turn on me. And then I was catching him and Lauren in lie after lie after lie. Small lies, but I thought, if you're going to lie to me about little shit, you're going to lie to me about big shit. Fuck you all.
Yeah, my mama used to say a liar's a liar and a cheat's a cheat. You either
right.
are or you're not. And he sounds like he's a bad one. All right.
Oh, but like I said, I'd give anything to have that proof. But I'll stand up in court and say every fucking bit of it.
The sex trafficking, Wayfair stuff, you got some evidence on all that?
No. I don't have evidence on sex trafficking. The only thing I had, which is weird, John, and I just did this shit 3 months ago or something like that. When I was out there, Jeff, and a lot of times Lauren would be right there in the room too, but Jeff would pull up these, like, he had some videos. I guess it was when he was in Vegas or in Colorado in them big mansions that he was fooling everybody with. There was girls passed out everywhere. 8, 10 girls, naked, look at us naked, passed out. And I guess Lauren was recording because Jeff was walking around, fondling them and touching them, and then sitting there saying, oh my God, that's going to be such a hard decision to decide which one of these girls I'm going to fuck tonight. And all that kind of shit. Then he showed me a bunch of pictures of at least 10, 12, 15 different girls that were like passed out in their cabin, on their bed or whatever, passed out. And one of the girls, I remembered making a comment to Jeff, joking around. I said, God damn, that one there is gorgeous. I want that one. And never thought nothing of it. I sit there and talked about it. I was like, God damn, boy, you lucky motherfucker. What it was I could remember the pictures in my head of how this girl looked. Well, then I got this new friend of mine that I ain't had but maybe a year. We're sitting there talking, and you probably know who Ashley Paige Webster or whatever her name is. She's the one that originally called Carole Baskins to turn Joe in. I had no clue who the fuck she was. And this friend of mine was sitting there, we're talking about her, and then she gets me in contact with Ashley. Well, I had no fucking clue who she was. She lives here, not about an hour from me. And I was like, I had no clue she even affiliated with Joe or nothing. I just sort of popped up her fucking profile real quick. And my heart sunk because I was like, God damn, that's that girl that I remember talking about to Jeff. And I thought, she has different colored hair. I said, but there's the way she wore her makeup and different stuff. And then, so I called my friend back. And I told her, I said, was she ever out at GW? And she said, yeah, she was out there for a little while, whatever. I said, she was fucking date raped. And Jim was like, what? And I said, yeah, she was one of them I remember seeing. So I asked Jen, I said, I knew this Ashley girl really isn't all there. She seems sweet as could be. I've never met her in person. But I told Jen, I said, how in the fuck am I supposed to sit here and tell a young pretty girl that you've been date raped?
Right.
I said, I don't want to be the one to have to tell her that shit. And Jen's like, Tim, you have to tell her. And finally I was like, well, get her on a conference, get her on a three-way call. So Jen called her. And I'm sitting there talking to Ashley. And I said, Ashley, let me ask you a question. Do you have a fucking tattoo, right, above your hip, in between your hip and your rib cage, on the side? It's not on your stomach, but it's on your side over there? And she was like, fuck yes, I do. I said, I know. I've seen it. And she's like, what? And that's when I told her. I said, I've seen a picture of you and Lauren laying in the bed. You were passed out. I've seen a picture of you and Jeff laying in the bed. You were passed out. I said, but the one I remember the most was you were passed out in the bed, and there was another girl passed out in the bed. And both of y'all had tattoos on your stomach area. And Jeff was laying in the middle of both of y'all, pointing at the tattoos. That's why I remembered the fucking tattoo. I said, I can't tell you what it was of. I just remember seeing the tattoo and Jeff pointing at it. I said, but it's on your side. And she got, oh, she was irate. And I told her, I said, I didn't want to have to be the one to tell you this shit. But I remember seeing pictures of you pass the fuck out and them taking advantage of you. I mean, not in detail, but you were knocked out for a reason. Mm-hmm. And that's because that's what they fucking do. And they showed me, and there was another girl, Lindsay. And I remember when Jeff, he was showing me this shit on his phone. And all of a sudden when it popped up and one of the pictures of one of the girls who passed out was Lindsay, he went through real quick, like, oh shit. And I said, oh God, was that Lindsay? Oh, yeah, blah, blah. And he just kept scrolling through. Why did he do that? I was friends with Lindsay. She was still working there. And she was dating Will, which is another employee that was there. And Jeff hated Will because Will took Lindsay away from him and Lauren.
Has somebody now filed rape charges? That seems to be a rumor. Has somebody now filed rape charges?
Ashley did, but she filed it with Garvin County. So I put the word to Jim this morning. I said, you get with Ashley and tell her she ain't going to get shit done with Garvin County. They filed down to Jeff Lowe in a heartbeat. Go over their head, wherever the hell you need to go. State police, FBI, whatever, and file the charges there. Fucking Garvin County's just going to overlook them and file 13 that motherfucker. Right. Because they're in on this shit too. They have allowed Jeff Lowe, even in my lawsuit against him. Jeff Lowe should be in prison just in my lawsuit for contempt of court. He had about $250,000 worth of my animals. And I filed my lawsuit against him and everything to get him back. And he was under strict fucking court order to not remove any of my animals or whatever from Garvin County. And every one of them's gone. Now he's in Love County, but 90% of my animals are gone. He's done killed them or sold them.
Right.
So he should be in jail. And that stupid-ass attorney I have in damn Oklahoma, like I said, he sucks. He's as useless as a fishnet condom. You know, why he can't just go up to the judge and say, here, contempt. We want that motherfucker arrested now. That should be all there is to it.
It should be at this point.